What it do, y'all? It's your boy Being Town Spitz, man. You already know, we back with another video. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn about 360 waves, man, join me on this journey as I'm working to become an elite waver, man. Just hit that subscribe button and join the wave. You feel me? Yes, sir. Alright, so as you can see from the title, this video is going to be about how to properly comb your 360 waves, man. So let's just skip all the nonsense and roll that intro.
Look, I feel I'm chosen, I'm pressure and I know it. Bitch, I know I can't fold it. That Henny got me flowing, that pressure keep me going. But they love me, I ain't knowing. I just stay focused, I don't know why they think I owe them.
It started as a dream, us. They ain't believing us, don't know what it means.
We gonna get right into it. For those of y'all that know, and for those of y'all that don't know, this has been my 11-week Wolf Challenge, and we are currently on week 9, man. Yeah, we on week 9, so just 2 more weeks to go, and you know we're gonna cut the wolf off, man. So we've been grinding, putting in that work, that brush work, all that good stuff, man. And that's just what it is. A big essential part when you're wolfing and you want to better connections and all that stuff that we always talk about, you know, a lot of repetitive terms, but again, they all work together to better your 360 waves. So it's important that you stick to these concepts and you know them in the back of your minds, and that's why we're going to keep going over them, and you're going to keep hearing a lot of the same terminology and terms and all that stuff. So specifically for this video, we're going to get into combing. Now, since I'm on my 9th week of wolfing, like, you know, my hair has grown a lot. And one thing that is very important that I always stress in my videos is that just as much as you brush, you have to comb. So I'm gonna show you how, you know, how you can properly comb your hair and why you should comb, as we know that you know, combing is essential to having smoother waves, you know, flawless connection and flow. The comb will get that job done on top of it if you're brushing and doing all of those other things. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into an unrag so y'all can see how I'm looking, man. The wolf is looking crazy, it's looking scary, but we almost there, man. We almost at the end of the road, so we gonna thug it out 2 more weeks. Y'all with me? Let's rock. All right, man. So this is how I'm looking. Week 9, man. It's getting real. It's getting really real. But it's all good. We thugging it out. When we get into, you know, the importance of combing and how you should properly comb your hair, as you could assume, it's a lot similar to brushing, right? But the difference is there's really only one direction that, you know, you can brush your hair, but when it comes to combing, there's 2 different ways you can comb. This all really depends on your level of, like, what level waver you are. So for beginners, you don't have a set pattern and, you know, you're growing your hair, you're wolfing, I recommend you comb with the grain. Now, combing with the grain would be like this. Anytime you hair with the grain, combing against the grain is like this. Now, when you comb against the grain is like that, you know? Look at that. And now I would say combing against the grain is more for the elite or advanced intermediate, you know, wavers, to where, you know, your pattern is set and things like that. But for the purposes of this video, we just gonna comb with the grain, alright? Combing, as I said, it's a lot like brushing. You know? You just wanna quick comb session for y'all, right? And as you can see, combing is just like brushing, man. When you comb, you know, follow the same 8-angle breakdown for when you're combing. I will put a link to that video in the description, or it might pop up on the screen right over here. Watch that 8-angle breakdown video to understand the 8 angles, and you can just follow that method or breakdown on the same when you comb. So now, the reason why combing is so important to, you know, breaking forks and having flawless flow is because, let's just get right into an example. When you are combing, right, say you have a fork, and again, for those who don't know, a fork is just an improper wave. So like, you want all your waves to connect and flow like the river, like for real, like real waves. So when you have a wave and it kind of crashes off, you know, right where it crashes off is your fork. So now where the comb comes in is, say you have that fork like right about here somewhere, right? You just want to, when you comb that area, you're breaking the rhythm of which that wave, you know, wants to lay down and go. So the more you comb it to straighten it out, when you start brushing again after you comb, you're like retraining which way you want the wave to go and lay down. And because, you know, you're not gonna break forks in one comb session or one brush session, this is something you have to do just consistently. That's why I like to really make it a point for wavers to understand that you have to comb just as much as you brush, especially when you get to comb length, to, you know, break those forks and all of that. Because again, if you don't, say you just don't comb and just say you're brushing, right, without combing, what you're doing is you're not giving yourself a chance to have flawless 360 waves with flawless flow. You're just gonna have waves. And yeah, that's cool, but again, here on my channel, you know, we working to level up, we working to, you know, have flawless waves, flawless 360 waves. And, you know, we're going to push ourselves to be great. And ultimately, that's why it's deeper than waves. So if you're not combing, there's no way you're going to be able to have flawless 360 waves, man. And that's just what it is. So it's always important to comb just as much as you brush. Purposes of this video, I was combing with the grain. Normally, you know, I would comb against the grain as well, you know. And I just think it's because you'll get more lift, and this is just, to me, it's just a better way to really break down your forks, you know, from the root, you know. And that's why you're going against the grain, because you're completely moving those forks or trying to move those forks so that when you get a brush session in, you know, you're laying them back down. And so when you are, I say anytime you get in a comb session, and I mentioned this before in previous videos, man, like every time that like I'm getting in a brush session, or before I get in a brush session, especially if I'm at comb length, I'm always combing first. That's a good tip, you know, I would take like that. If you're trying to work on bettering your waves, or you looking at certain areas, comb first, man. Comb, and then go in with the hard, medium, soft, and lay it back down. Like, combing just has to be a part of your routine, and if it's not, there's just no way that, you know, you'll be able to ever, you know, break your forks, man. It'll be Fork City, dog, like straight up. And we don't want it to be Fork City, we want it to be Spin City, you feel me? Like, so yeah, man, we want to spin. Combing is essential, just like brushing as well. You don't really want to comb, you know what I'm saying, blind. You want to comb with the mirror so that you can see your angles and see what you're doing. And if you got an area that's more forkier than the other area, focus on that area, start with that area, man, and, you know, go to work. And over time, you will see, you know, perfections in your waves. You will see your flawless connection come together. But again, it takes time. Like, it takes time, weeks, months, it takes time. But it's not about trying to comb and just get rid of it. It's just about the process, man. See your area of, like, you know, what you got to work on, and just take care of it every day. Gradually just take care of it. And, you know, before you know it, one day you're on rag and you'll see, man, like, oh, look, that fork moved. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's simple, man. So combing is just as important as brushing. I need all my wavers to know that. And, you know, the way I showed you is the proper way to comb. similar to brushing. Follow the 8-angle breakdown, and you'll be all right, man. You will be all right, man. And as for myself, I'm on my 9th week, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the big chop, man. And we're gonna see how we looking, and hopefully, you know, when we get to that closing point where, you know, I'm on that 11th week and the Wolf Challenge is completed, I will have some, you know, good results for y'all to see what going on, you know what I'm saying, a lone wolf could really do for your waves, especially when you're a wolf and you're doing everything you need to do. This video is specifically about combing and why combing is essential, and I hope all my wavers out there watching, and to anybody out there watching, understands that just as much as you need to brush, man, you need to comb. You already know, it's your boy, Beantown.